Hello guys, it's your boy Peter, and today I thought I'd do a bit of a video on Slark, DYRACHYO Slark in particular, because honestly this guy doesn't get enough respect sometimes. People are like, oh, he overextends, he's always feeding, blah 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 blah. The thing is, what DYRACHYO does for this team is very important. He initiates a lot of the time, he sets up the plays. Now, to be honest, that's what Slark does, right? So it of course depends. It depends on your hero, it depends on his hero. But I want to give this guy a lot of credit. This game, his initiations, his decision-making, most of his decision-making was insanely good. It helped his team get their spells off in a very effective way, because if you notice, Gaming Gladiators draft, we have an Enigma, a Magnus, a Wyvern, even Pango Rolling Thunder. These are spells that don't really want to go in first, and he really fulfilled that role this game as Slark, and I really think that's the main reason they were able to destroy Team Spirit in this match. So without further ado, I'd like to cover the main parts of this match, Game 2 between Team Spirit and Gaming Gladiators, and why DYRACHYO is such an important part of this team. Alright, before we get into the main part of the video, I do want to let you guys know that I'm not only posting videos here on YouTube, I also frequently post videos on the website. If you don't know what I'm talking about, almost every single day I'm posting a new video to the GameLink website. We're going to teach you guys in depth about how to get to the next level. So if you want to become absolutely broken, click the link down below and sign up. Okay, the first thing I'd like to say is I think Team Spirit's draft was trash. I feel like Kunkka is a good Slark counter in the game, but I think the main way to beat Slark is to give this hero a bad start, take his tower, and not let him farm comfortably in his lane. But DYRACHYO got to do exactly that, because Enigma outtrades Shaman, and Kunkka is terrible early on. So even though they ended up killing Celery here, they chase him across the entire map, and Slark gets the free farm, which is like, not good. Slark is a hero that should not free farm early on. It's not that strong in the early levels. It has terrible armor, terrible stats, terrible everything, but DYRACHYO is able to free farm, and so he gets off to a good start this game. Also, something I'd like to mention is he's very good about seeing aggression. This guy, his strength is aggression. Like for me, I'm more of an ace type of player. Now you can be like, Speed, you're nothing like ace. I didn't ask, okay? DYRACHYO, what he's really good at is he's able to see opportunities of aggression. Okay, that is what he's really strong at. And so you'll notice in this clip here, as the Enigma TP's in, Shaman walks up, and a lot of people, they wouldn't really see much of this. They'd be like, oh, it's just a Shaman, he's close to full HP. But DYRACHYO sees this as a go. Celery didn't see it either, right? This guy's walking to his courier. He doesn't see this immediately. I mean, to be fair, he's focused on his courier, but DYRACHYO makes a good go, and with the Malefice and a Blood Grenade, it actually results in a kill. Pretty impressive, right? Because, I don't know, I just feel like most people, as simple as that was, wouldn't have seen it. Or they would overextend in a lane that's really bad, right? This is a good lane, and so it makes sense for him to go in there. Now, I will say, of course, just to give him a little bit of criticism, plays like this are a bit insane. A couple things to note that I think he should change is he should have clarities much earlier. Slark is a hero that will inevitably have mana problems. It's part of the reason Mage Slayer has become the more popular first item on Slark, at least in the pro scene, over Diffusal Blade. Reason being is it keeps you alive and it gives you mana regen because you can buy Sage's Mask. But I think if he had the Sage's Mask earlier and clarities, that the aggression on Kunkka here would make a bit more sense. But this aggressive pounce in, while it is some damage on Kunkka, gets him killed, right? It's a great TP in from Yatoro. He probably doesn't expect Yatoro to make such a great TP here, but still, it ends up killing him. He couldn't use ulti and he dies. I will say after this, I think his decision making is really good. So what he does is he pulls the lane. This is going to allow you to get the lane back and farm lane creeps. Slark is a hero that really likes lane creeps. Now when you're level 7, you can kill neutrals pretty effectively, and so it is an option to hit these camps, and that is what he does. But basically, first things first, you pull this camp, it allows you to farm the lane creeps in a safe position, especially against a hero like Kunkka, where X counters you because you can't dispel the X, right? So you can get TP'd on and set up on. So he gets the lane back, he sees that the enemy team goes mid, and so he makes the decision to push the lane really aggressively. In fact, he drags the wave around, meaning that these creeps will then go under tower, and it won't let the enemy team farm the wave. So he's able to take this wave all the way around, and this is actually efficient. He brings it under tower, the tower helps him kill it quickly, then he farms this camp. He also drags the camps together with Dark Pact, which gives him even more efficiency, and does it at such a good time where it actually ends up letting both camps respawn. From there, he hits the portal right after taking those camps, and I think this is good because he's afraid of the gank. He's afraid of a movement up to the top tower, right? The movement to kick Slark out of the lane that these pro teams know they have to make, but he's able to evade it, or evade the potential gank, and when he sees that it's, okay, probably not happening because he sees the CM mid, he makes his way back to his lane and farms it up again. Also, he buys his clarity, as I mentioned is very important, completes his Mage Slayer, and he's ready to go. And on the Mage Slayer timing, this is when you want to start to connect to fights, because now you actually have some sort of an HP pool, because people don't do a lot of damage to you when you hit them. However, this fight ends up going really poorly. I think he makes the good decision to back off and not go in, something you don't see from DYRACHYO very often, but it was the right choice here. Now from there, he slows down the pace of the game and farms it up for a bit. And a lot of people see DYRACHYO as this reckless player that is just constantly going for kills and dying as a result. But something I've noticed from watching a ton of his replays, his ALK replays in particular, and now this Slark replay, is that he's actually very good at slowing down the pace of the game when it's necessary. What is Slark's weakest point of the game? A lot of people probably don't know the answer to that question. But the answer to that question is the daytime. Because you're always seen, so your ulti isn't that useful, right, the passives, and Slark has bonus night vision, meaning that he'll see you first in the nighttime. So essentially the daytime for Slark is terrible. What does he do? Well, that's the time to farm. He plays a pretty defensive gameplay, mostly farms the back camps, completes Diffusal, almost completes Diffusal during the daytime, and now when it's night and he has Diffusal, it's time to go. And that's exactly what he does. Diffusal online, and he explodes onto the map. And this is what most people just don't do. They're too random. It's like, they just do things at random times. Nighttime, Diffusal, Mage Slayer. That's when you go. That's when you go. Now, yeah, he connected to that fight earlier that didn't go well because that's exactly when he hit Mage Slayer, right? Use timings, guys. I know it's this simple point, but every time I watch people's replays, they just aren't doing these things. And he invades the jungle. This isn't some random play. You're not solo killing a Blade Kunkka. His team is behind him. He's initiating, giving the vision, going in first. And you know what that does? It forces out a boat. He clicks ulti because he knows that it's going to be followed up on. Laurel tries to make the burst play. He does get hit by both of the nukes, but he barely lives because he clicked the ulti on the torrent combo. Right? That's just good intuition. You know who's only going to have that intuition to click ulti there? Because realistically, he could click Dark Pact and try to just walk it off, right? But he doesn't. He clicks ulti knowing that he's going to get jumped. Because he's so good at this, he's done this so much, and he ends up living. This allows his team to take a free fight. I actually want to kind of play out this fight in free camera, and you'll see from his teammates' perspective, it's just really easy. Pango can kite out because they're going on Slark. Pango doesn't get nuked here. Quap blinks in, and because she blinks in, she dies, right? She gets her mana burnt. She gets right click down. The supports come in late. Great curse from Tofu to kind of buy some time here. So well done on his part there. And it's an easy fight, right? Very, very simple, because the Quap overextended. And this fight is another example of how good this guy is at actually playing out these really hectic fights. When chaos ensues, people choke, they panic, they make bad decisions. But DYRACHYO in this team fight makes great decisions. He doesn't shadow dance the initial go here because he knows that they're not following it up. That's just good overall awareness. Then when Ace goes in with initiation on the RP, he does pounce to follow up, which seems a bit risky because he's out of pounces now. He's truly stuck. But he does have his shard and his ulti. Keep in mind, he bought his shard after the Ags. So many Slarks don't do this. I don't know why. It's broken. This shard is OP. And people just will skip it. They'll just like not buy it until late game. And I'm like, it's mind-boggling because it's just a second ulti that works on your teammates. It gives you 100 HP regen, right? It's like a 300 heal as well. It's insane. And so yeah, drops that to try to keep him and Ace alive. It makes it very hard for him to get X, right? The Kunkka can't combo him. He can't get frostbitten. Nothing like that can come out. He ends up getting time dilated, and that's very awkward because Dark Pact is on cooldown, but he's okay because he realizes that even though this is going, it's about to expire, and he might get chronoed, and he gets his ulti off just before the chrono comes out, and that's the end of the team fight, because now you've chronoed your entire team, you don't kill the Slark, you try to kill the Slark, but that sets up for a very easy black hole on Faceless Void, and they kill him off. That is some incredible Dota. And then look at this pounce. Like, what is this pounce? This is like the craziest part of the clip. Oh, I guess he kind of had vision. Okay. I was going to say, when I first saw that, I was like, was that blind? No, not really. That was just such a good team fight, guys. Like, man. And to show off the final example of this play, this is just really good situational awareness once again, using each and every tool. Like, you can tell that this guy isn't just like some formulaic player. He's not a robot. He's very fluent, right? He's like one of those anime characters that's just in the moment, that rides off their intuition. That is really what he is. I mean, it's truly what he is, because it's all situational decision making, and being a good Slark, that is what you need. So he gets X'd here, he decides to BKB. I guess he didn't want to ulti, he wanted to make some big plays. Yeah, maybe he could ulti, but potentially he would die after he comes back. Kunkka is very good at disabling Slark, right, with the shard. You can push him even during Dark Pact. So okay, he BKBs. his ulti's going, right? He's watching the passive. That's what he's doing here. He's watching the passive, and his team smoked. They want to make a play because Faceless Void is dead, and they know it's an easy team fight with no Faceless Void. And so what does he do? He stays in the area. He's scouting to see, are they going to put a ward on the high ground? Are they going to try to scout me out? And he's just providing the vision. He will run up when his team gets close enough, and that's exactly what he does. Runs up. Maybe he should have clicked Q earlier. I mean, that was close. Like, the Shaman maybe could have hexed him, but the Shaman didn't hex him. Now, he uses the ulti because the Q is about to expire. He uses the ulti so he doesn't get hexed. That allows him to kill off the Shaman. I also like that he pounces early there, even though he could have hit the guy. It gives you essence shift, so it lets you kill them off faster. Also, he needed to pounce him to kill him in general, but I think doing it immediately is good there because it gives you the stacks right away. Then, as the ulti's ending, the Q comes back up, and this is what it takes to be a good Slark. You have to know how everything layers together, right? You want to Q, optimally Q, then when the Q is ending, ulti, and then Q again, and then pounce out, and then wait for the Q, and then maybe use your shard, right? They all kind of line up together, and now his initiation, they try to counter it. They're like, oh, no BKB, no ult, but he still has his shard, and his team was smoking to him, which Team Spirit did not know, and that sets up for a very easy fight. Puts down his shard, which I don't think was really needed here, but whatever, it's fine. And they kill off the Quap. Good decision to pounce the Quap and not the Kunkka, because Kunkka is not getting out, Quap is. So another good decision from DYRACHYO, just good decision, good decision, good decision. And yeah, they win the game from here on out. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, hopefully you learned quite a bit about Slark, about DYRACHYO, and about Dota. I'll see you next one, and I'm out. Peace.
And that's all, but remember, before you leave, come on, before you tune out, subscribe to the Game Leap website where we are going to help you get to the next rank. If you're stuck, click the link down below, and I'm out. Peace.